Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the first episode of the Rush Power Hour featuring your man Bat Daddy. You got my homeboys on the side over here, Psycho D, and big cousin Itty Ump.
Hey, what's going on, people? Long time no hear from.
You guys remember my man Itty Amin over here? yeah. What's good, everybody?
You know, trying to keep hope alive. We are waiting for the ballots to come in from the presidential election. I was just speaking to Psycho D saying that Donald Trump might come around and be the comeback kid, aka Reggie Miller, and he's going to end up doing the choke sign to America.
Yeah.
What you got to say about that, D?
Well, it's true, and it's a very
Speak to the mic, brother. Speak to the mic.
Now it's very serious right now, and what's going on in America, you know, and everyone's still waiting on the vote and seeing which way it goes. But it's truly a divisive country right about now, you know. That's all I have to say as for that point right there.
Right now we're waiting on, what is it, Pennsylvania,
North Carolina, Georgia, Nevada, and Arizona. Okay. Which Arizona is kind of swinging towards Biden's way. The state of Nevada is up in the air because they're waiting for those ballots to come back from Las Vegas where the gambling is at,
right,
and the prostitution is at.
Yeah.
It looked like he's going to take Georgia, and he's going to take North Carolina, and he's going to take Pennsylvania. But in any case, if he do win it, and if it comes to a stalemate, it got to go through the House of Representatives, and this chick Pelosi is not having it. So Nancy Pelosi. So he's not going to be the president regardless.
Right.
You know, I just hope that a civil war
doesn't break out
because it can.
There's been a lot of militias.
Yeah.
You know, forming.
Whites and black ones.
Right, there has been. But the black ones were, well, truthfully on both sides. You know what I'm saying? The black ones were for the Black Lives Matter movement. You know, in the wake of the deaths of George Floyd and what's the young lady's name?
I can't think about it.
Breonna Taylor, thank you very much. Magic Man over there. You know what I'm saying? Breonna Taylor. And then the white militias are forming because they want Trump to stay in office.
Yeah.
It's like damn, you want Trump to be the king of America now?
You know.
Yeah.
They just want to keep, you know, his white power thing that he throws up, because he throws up a gang sign a lot.
Yeah.
And it's white, and you see the P power, so.
And you know, there was no collusion.
Yeah.
On it, you know, and he does this a lot.
Yes, he does.
You know, this is, you know, what are you, the part of the 3-6 Mafia?
Right. Something,
you know?
Something like that.
Yeah.
Go ahead, B. What you want to say, bro? Run the show, brother.
No, we're still, you know, running down the, you know, what's going on with the election and everything. You know, we're just trying to, you know, get the ballots and everything. Did you go out and do your thing?
Yeah, I did.
You did?
And I voted for Trump.
Yeah, I knew you would.
I actually did.
You voted for Trump because most of your name is in his name, right?
Yeah, something like that. But the thing is that I didn't want to give Biden my vote. I want my vote. My vote represented the chickens coming home to roost, meaning 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95.
Okay.
This man played a part in writing policies and putting the blacks and Latinos under the ground. Wow. For charges. And it's like now we see that marijuana is being legalized in some of the states. The federal government got marijuana like it's crack cocaine. And so if you got caught with a couple of ounces of marijuana, you're going to jail. Or you cross the state line, you're getting a federal offense for an ounce of marijuana. Like marijuana? And you help write these bills? So it's like I'm not doing that.
Right.
I mean, maybe the next if you win the office and you go back into office again, then I'll vote for you because I'm gonna see you. How can I say make up for the things that you did to my people?
Well, blacks are going out and voting for him in droves.
In droves.
So I mean, do you think that maybe he's had a change of heart?
I mean, him being in office with Barack Obama and Barack Obama signing, letting people out because one of our friends got out on Barack Obama's order.
Who was that?
Lyman.
Oh,
Lyman went to jail for 23 years.
Yeah, that's right.
And it was like his first offense, and he got hit hard. He was supposed to get like 30.
Yeah,
and came out on his first offense. It was nonviolent. So I guess Joe Biden kind of played a part in that. But I just can't forget you using that word, calling us super predators. So I didn't, I didn't like that.
Yeah. Psycho D, in the place to be. What's good, brother man?
Well, I just think even with all this that's going on, political wise, politics has really taken a turn for the worse in that sense of saying how we are not really for the people in this country, and I think that even with everything that's going on down to this last voting, and who knows how far it'll go to Monday if that's the case. Mm-hmm. I mean, we're still dealing with two issues that plays a part in America, and for one is that if Trump don't win, we have all the right-wing people creating something and causing a stir on the media aspect of things, and there's another side of the Biden thing where everybody has this thing about him locking up a lot of us, and that's another important part, along with Harris. And then,
right.
But I mean, people still have their thoughts about this, they're not happy fully.
Right.
Right.
And that's the thing. We not, we have to be mindful of that. There's many factors that play in a part of this politics right now. Yeah. Stimulus money, getting out to the people for the holidays or whenever time. I mean, we need some type of extension, for people to survive out here. It's not easy.
Yeah,
that's true.
And that's all I'm saying on that note.
Yeah. About the race riots or race wars or anything like that, do you think that, because I've heard that if Trump wins, they was going to riot one way or the other. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, truthfully, what do you think about that, and what could be the outcome?
America is built on the protests. So if it's just the law of nature just taking its course. And I hope nobody lose their lives. White, black, green, purple. If people want to get out and protest, you gonna get out and protest. You shouldn't destroy, I guess, mom and pop stores. But if mom and pop stores is in the way, it's just gonna happen. Regardless of how barbaric Newt Gingrich said, we need to stop the barbarians. Y'all caused this. Y'all did this. How long were you going to be able to step your foot on people's necks?
Right.
Without people moving like, come on, stop stepping on my neck. I can't breathe.
I can't breathe. Can't breathe, damn it.
Can't breathe.
Get the hell up off me. All right, so,
we have to get social justice, and knowing Kaepernick stood up for what he stood up for.
He stood up for you.
And just down. That's right. Mm-hmm. And we're just so divided right now, and with the school system and the Pledge of Allegiance, all that's been taken out of the system as well.
Yeah.
And
they deemed it, and the crazy part, the Supreme Court had deemed it unconstitutional because at one time, I remember in school, I'm old enough to remember that we used to have to get up and set the Pledge of Allegiance every day.
And put your hand over your heart.
Put your hand over your heart.
And pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I know it, you know what I'm saying, because we kept having to say it. But the Supreme Court deemed it unconstitutional that nobody don't got to get up and pledge their allegiance to the flag.
Right.
So.
Well, you know, if you didn't when you were in school, pledge allegiance.
Not in 156, people was like, man, I ain't saying that shit then.
Yeah.
Kids like, I ain't saying that.
Yeah, you were definitely going to be, if you didn't stand up, you know what I'm saying, you're going to be taken out and herded out towards the principal's office and probably have to do
getting lectured and all that other shit.
To do some detention. You know what I'm saying? You know, back in the days too, they would whip you in school. So
whip you. I got beat a couple times in school, and my mother gave the authorization to get my ass beat.
Yeah, I got jumped by my teachers. They caught me. You know, it was the first time. You know, I was in the second grade and all. You know,
Right.
the teachers was like, you. 3
Mm-hmm.
o'clock. The teachers did that.
My teacher, I had a Negro teacher that beat my hand with rulers because everybody in the class had to know Lift Every Voice and Sing, and if you didn't know that song, she would beat you.
Well, you know what? For that one right there, being that is the black, right, national anthem. You should have known it. You should have learned it, and you should have recited it.
Yeah.
You know, because that's the whole reason why, you know what I'm saying, black kids were rebelling against pledging allegiance. You know what I'm saying? Because that didn't really represent us as a people.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was important that you know who wrote that?
James Weldon Johnson. I was beat.
Who was he?
Either Langston Hughes, James Weldon Johnson.
Who was James Weldon?
A poet.
He was a poet.
He was a poet. He wrote Lift Every Voice and Sing.
Okay.
And I know that song. I'm not a good singer, but I know Lift Every Voice and Sing because the teacher used to beat me. But Busta Rhymes.
You want to talk about Busta Rhymes'
I want
new
to talk
album?
about. I am so happy that finally, in my era, as old as I am, I'm 47 going on 48, and I'll be 50 real soon.
Damn, you old.
That I'm happy that someone 29 years ago that came out with Leaders of the New School, Row like a dungeon dragon, that this man has stayed consistent. He has stayed consistent before even the God MC got good promotion, because we know he was with Jazzo doing his version of speed rap. That Busta Rhymes is 91, Jay-Z is 88, but Jay-Z didn't hit. Jay-Z hit all the way until what the Volume 1, The Streets is Watching?
95.
96, 97. When Jay-Z really hit. But Busta started in 91 and kept on moving. And still doing it. And he's nice.
Well, you know what, since we have moved into the topic of music, do you know this month has been declared National Hip Hop Month?
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
who made that declaration? Kool Herc?
You know what? I'm not 100% sure, but when you turn on your cable news,
okay,
it's on there.
News 12. Wow.
Yeah, they repeat it every now and then. And something was going on at the Hip Hop Museum.
Wow, up in BX.
Yeah.
Kool Herc.
So I didn't have time, man. I didn't have time to research.
Right.
But I wanted to know about this national month-long situation. So
Curtis Blow.
Yeah, he's shooting off some of the names of the originals, the forefathers of hip hop.
Right.
Street, Furious 4, Curtis Blow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Sugar Hill Gang.
Yeah.
You know, even though they was a put together group by, Sylvia Robinson.
Right.
You know.
Of Sugar Hill Records.
Sugar Hill Records. You know what I'm saying?
Sugar Hill Gang, they still empire.
Yeah.
You know, they on one of them shows on the cable network.
Oh, they are still?
Yeah.
Are they?
Yeah.
Doing what? What do they do?
Well, the father is the DJ or something. Not the DJ, but, just the
I thought one of them just died not too long ago?
I don't know.
One of them just
Big
died.
Bang Hank.
Yeah, Big Bang Hank just died.
Yeah.
Big Bang Hank just died.
I hated that song.
I'm here and I'm there. I'm Big Bang Hank and I'm everywhere.
I hated that song.
Why?
Because when my sisters used to drag me to the block party, I just kept hearing it. and I didn't really like it. I just didn't like how the way it sounded.
You know what? That was Niles Rodgers.
That's right. Good times.
Good times. Yeah.
Let me tell you, back in the days at that era, we used to go to the block parties with the 2 turntables and the microphone. And you used to see the old school at that time, they had these white sweaters. Jazzy B or Jazzy such and
Jazzy
such.
F.
You know. yes. DJ Pooski and all these names.
Shout out to the 5% Nation. Because that's when it was running deep at that time.
Yes.
79, 80, 81, 82.
Yes.
And if you didn't know your lessons, you was getting beat up really bad.
You know, the block parties were so important because everybody went outside to enjoy themselves, to dance and to battle to pop lock and all those things. You know,
and to all the people that did die at those early block parties, may y'all souls rest in peace too, because there was some dumb shit,
a lot of shootouts,
dumb shit going on then too.
A lot of shootouts and nonsense would happen at these block parties. You get too many people in a gathering.
That's right.
You know, somebody's gonna bump into somebody.
And I hate that.
Don't you dare step on a person's Pumas.
That's right. Or shell top Adidas.
All right. You think you get into it over a pair of Jordans? Man, back in the days.
That's right.
You have a whole mob after you.
Yeah.
All right. Don't you step on my blue suede shoes.
And it's crazy because it was like that. I remember my sister. You know what I'm saying? My sister's got me about 7 years, and I remember my sister dragging me, and we running, and they're shooting at the block party, and I'm, in the 2nd or 3rd grade. So the bullshit was going on even then.
Sure, man. Please.
What's
going on throughout in the 70s. And
Grandmaster, come faster.
Yeah.
Grandmaster. Oh man, they can go. Listen, that was the tradition of rap. Man.
Yeah, sure enough.
The tradition, you know. Yeah. And I miss it, man.
Yeah, I miss old school hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, this is whatever's out today. That's for the
Curtis Blow, another one, man, from the Crush Groove era. You know, if it wasn't for Russell and the whole Crush Groove administration,
the whole Rush
how that
movement.
went down, the Rush movement, you know,
right,
for real. I can watch that movie so many times forever in my life. That will never be stopped. Crush Groove.
I saw it once.
It should be in your library. It should be in your encyclopedia.
I'm sorry, man.
You need to.
You know, I didn't see a lot of
Sheila Easton. How dare you?
Sheila E.
Sheila E.
Sheila Escovedo.
Yes.
Miss Latina.
Yeah.
The drum player.
The drum player.
The Fat Boys, Reverend Run, DMC. I mean, come on, man. It just goes
Beasties.
on and on. Beasties.
LL.
They made a lot of money, man.
New Edition.
That New Edition was in that.
New Edition was in Crush Groove.
That's right.
You better cool it now.
My sister boyfriend took us to see that. Darren, we went to see Crush Groove together.
We went to see Crush
1985 November. Yeah. Because I'm gonna tell you, we was trying to go see Nightmare on Elm Street, but it was sold out. And we drove up to see, because we tried to go to the Kenmore movie theater in Flatbush, but it was sold out.
We even had hero sandwiches.
Nah, we didn't have hero sandwiches. We went to McDonald's after that.
Yeah.
See, this guy remembers exactly what he ate
I remember.
In day by day of his life. He knows what he had to eat, yo.
Yeah, I had a Big Mac.
Keisha Coles, I remember. Keisha Coles.
Let me just get some of that cigarette. Gentrification. I want to get back to hip hop, and I was strolling through Brownsville today because I had to go put me a bed on layaway because I need a new damn bed.
A new bed.
And Brownsville has a lot of homes being built, a lot of buildings being built now, and it's like these new people that's going to move in here, whether they black, white, green, purple, they ain't giving a sugar honey iced tea on who was who and who once lived here. And I guess that's like that anywhere. If I would have moved on 71st Street and Park Avenue, or 73rd Street next to Lincoln Center, which they said that Lincoln Center, it was an area of Lincoln Center where they knocked a lot of people homes down.
No, that whole Lincoln Center, and all of like the Central Park area, that used to be a black neighborhood.
That's 1800s, that right there. I know that right there.
Seneca Village, right?
Seneca Village, yeah.
Yeah. And they chased the black people out of there just so that they can build Central Park.
Yeah.
When was this? The late 1800s, early 1900s?
No, it got to be 1800s.
Okay.
1800s.
Yeah, man, that's horrible.
Mm-hmm.
That's horrible.
But that's what happens when, I guess, gentrification, or you call that eminent domain, like they did downtown Brooklyn with the Barclay. It was one guy that held out. He held out to the bitter end and got paid. Right there on Bergen Street, on that Bergen Street side, with the two, you know what I'm saying, where the 2 and the 3 stops at.
Right.
It's a guy. It was a white guy that held out. Like, you know, they paid him nice, and they paid him handsomely. He liked.
What is it about Park Slope or the 6th Avenue side of Flatbush that has a prestigious amount of value? The value of rent.
Yeah, it's crazy. Rent period right now in New York City is crazy. It's crazy that you really have to double up with somebody, or you gotta hope that you get into a lottery, one of these low income, moderate income, high income, that you get into a lottery where you hope you and your bitch, me and my bitch Biggie Smalls, y'all got a salary, a good salary together where y'all both can pay this rent, But some of these new apartment buildings is coming with gyms and swimming pools, parquet floors where you can play ball at if you want to. Nice oven systems, heating systems.
And then the neighborhood, like Prospect Park Avenue side of things, on the Grand Army Plaza side of things.
Yeah,
it's very prestigious.
Yes, and always
the rent value has always been up. Even social workers pay some type of rent over there. $4,000, $5,000, somewhere in that bracket.
A month.
Please don't get on my case if I'm telling you rent, but that's the value over there.
But the crazy thing is that you still have crazy homelessness, and it's like y'all motherfuckers is building so many buildings where people don't have to be homeless no more. But then you sticking people in the shelter system paying astronomical prices for people to stay fucking homeless. It's like the capitalist system is a weird. I love it. You come with a good idea, you could get paid, but it's really a weird system. It's weird.
I tell you,
home placement, home finding, those are very important. And right now with this pandemic, that we dealing with, that's another issue that it's just. It's hard to even begin to speak on it, with all the lives that's been lost and everything that's been called out, and the restrictions and just the fact that they might have to shut everything down again. All these are possibilities. And people are really worried and things like that. This is so tough. Everything was a norm last year, and it's like now it's like, man, you could begin to imagine what people are thinking for next week, for Thanksgiving, for Christmas, for New Year's, for any of these moments.
What was it, about 9 months ago when this all started?
Yes, indeed.
Right. So you couldn't tell us at the time when we was doing our show, the Black Raspberry. You couldn't tell us that it wasn't the start of The Walking Dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, people was going to turn to zombies. What do you mean there's some type of virus out here that's killing people? You couldn't tell us this. Like, we just knew this was the end of everything. When they started that, let me tell you something. When they started that curfew,
yeah,
and the streets was clear at like 6 o'clock in the evening.
Yep, the air was clean though. Because I'm gonna tell you, when I remember one day that I left the World Trade Center, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't smell anything. I don't smell carbon monoxide. I don't smell bad breath.
You don't smell a hot dog getting roasted.
Nothing.
You don't smell
a pretzel being burnt. Nothing.
The peanuts.
But you know what was crazy? I was able to see the stars.
Yeah.
And one thing about living in New York City or any urbanized area, metropolis, as they say, where Superman is at, or Gotham City, where Batman is kicking some ass, you was able to see the stars.
Right.
You know, you won't see the moon because it's right, you know, not too far from the planet, but you was able to see some stars.
Right. More clearly.
More clearly
because the fog and the haze had settled, you know what I'm saying, dissipated. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, just like when you're down south somewhere, in certain areas of the country, at nighttime, it's the most beautiful thing, man. You know what I'm saying? To be able to look up and can see the cosmos. You know what I'm saying? The universe.
I just want to say to all the people that's really going, and we don't know the decision that's going to be made in the next few days. We can't really talk about what is our next move because we don't know what the next pick is.
Right.
You know? And there's so many things that's ahead of us, even with all this going on. You know, and it's really bad.
There's so many things happening. Like
the kids' future, you know, the education system. We got to give a lot of credit and you know, just love to the first responders of the people that's making sure the ones in the hospitals and all those things. You know, firefighters. I've seen them out there today on Rockaway, just going in and not asking questions. You know, putting their life on the line.
But there was a fire on Rockaway?
Yeah, firefighters. You know, there was a little false alarm kind of thing going on by, you know, the place on Rockaway. I don't want to call their name out, but just the point that we all don't have that loving factor, that caring factor, that helping factor as a country, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a scary moment is what I'm trying to say. And until we find out who's our next president, we go accordingly. You know, we don't know the reflection of the outcome of these things, you know. If things don't go in Donald Trump's area, then some people may act up. And we need to understand that this thing is real out here, you know.
You know, I'm not too big on politics or sports, but I watched Barack Obama shoot a 3-point. You saw it?
Yeah, he said, "This is what I do."
He just walked away.
I would have gave that motherfucker a hard foul. It'd have been like the Detroit Pistons, but
well, he's from
Chicago. I would have Bill and bid his ass.
Obama just has a presence about him, man. He just has that swag.
Yeah.
You know, just that bravado thing.
He's the coolest dude that was ever the president of the United States.
You can talk about eating a Nathan's hot dog, and it's an interesting conversation. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah.
You know,
this rich ass. They doing them public speeches and shit.
Yeah, well, let him keep doing what he do.
But let's talk about, you know, a little bit about sports for a second, about the Jets, the Giants.
Horrible.
The New York Knicks, about a top pick.
All of it. It don't matter.
This is the cuz. He's not, he was a New York Jets fan with Ken O'Brien, Wesley Walker, Al Toon.
Yeah.
You know, those guys.
That's like 87, 88,
so far
89.
back. But he's always been down, even with the New York Knicks. But with the Jets, they need to go and get rid of this coach. But what happens is that because they selected him, they're punishing him. So they might go 0-16 and then fire him.
Right.
You know? I don't think they're going to really look to get rid of him off right like that. They want to embarrass him.
When you get out there and you playing football, the coach is not out there playing football, man. Get out there, make some damn tackles, and stop the play.
But if your team is 0-7 and they ain't winning,
that's bad. That's bad. That's not bad coaching. Totally, that's bad playing.
They need a defense. They need to get a coach first and foremost, not just go pick any old coach, a winning coach. The last coach they had was Bill Parcells and
the dude that's on ESPN.
Rex Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Got rid of him.
But forget about the Jets. Well, that's a whole nother
and the Giants
discussion.
suck too.
The Giants, they need to go back to defense.
1-6.
The Giants won Super Bowls off of Lawrence Taylor, Pepper Johnson, Harry Carson. knows.
Yeah.
Defense. Even with Michael Strahan and Tucker, you know, with Eli Manning, with some wide receivers and yada yada yada. But they need to get back into defense.
How is the Celtics doing right now?
Celtics, they came runner up against Miami. They didn't do good.
They didn't do good.
You know, they was exciting. Kemba Walker is a hell of a point guard.
BX,
I love him.
BX,
baby. But you know what? Like, Kemba Walker is a short point guard. Like, you know, them 6'6" guys, they'll post you up. They'll look to exploit your game, you know. But bottom line is this, man. The Celtics are good. Miami's going to be all right. The New York Knicks need to get point guard, somebody who can run the show. Like, New York has been known for basketball. We used to go to the parks back in the days. Me and balled on the courts, period, you know? And the reality is West Fourth, all the guys you can call Lloyd Daniels, this one, that one, many names. It's no way the Knicks should not have a point guard. Mark Jackson, Rod Strickland was the last guys, you know, a part of that organization. They haven't. Derek Harper, I ain't gonna disrespect him, and Doc Rivers,
and don't disrespect Stephon Marbury
and Steph, and peace to Stephon Marbury,
and Stephen Francis,
and well, I'm not gonna say Steve Francis, you know, but the Yankees. This is another thing before we close this up with sports. They need to go after pitching. They need to leave home run hitters alone. They need to forget about going after bats. They need pitchers. Guys like Jimmy Key, Pedro Martinez, the names, Jimmy, you know, just the names that go on and on with that. David Cone, you know, this guy that's there, Gary Cole, who's with the Yankees. You need Savino back, and you need another ace in order to get competitive and try to win the World Series. Because right now the Yankees is just looking suspect since, you know.
The whole New York City is sports is suspect. That's it.
But Busta Rhymes said, I'm on my New York He said, I rep the New York Knicks.
Yeah, he did.
The Yankees and everything else. You know how that verse
And the last time the Knicks won the championship is 1973.
The Knicks?
The Knicks, 1973, the year I was born.
But you ever watch TNT when Shaquille O'Neal sits up there with Charles Barkley? He said, barbecue chicken. I roast you like barbecue chicken. Everybody got a ring up on the goddamn panel except for who?
Charles Barkley.
There you go.
And that's the truth.
And was a hell of a player.
Mm-hmm. But and Patrick Ewing was too. You don't got one either.
I'm a Knicks fan, but, you know, the Knicks just didn't give Pat. When they let Mark Jackson and Rod go, and Derek Harper, listen, that was the last of the last. Charlie Ward was good, but, you know, I'm not going to knock him.
Don't forget Chris Childs. He was too.
Chris Childs, you know, he was all right, you know. But, you know, no disrespect. You got to have a team of winners, point guards that can help run the offense. I mean, the Parks was able to do it in New York City. Wherever people went, Queens had the best point guards as well as the Bronx. You know, Brooklyn had the top competitive winning championship point guards. Like, our point guards went to tournaments and won championships. Period. You know.
Listen, man. Even though I was never into sports, I've said it once. And I'll say it 100,000 more times if I have to. You guys were some of the best basketball players I ever knew personally.
Well, thank you, sir.
Well, thank you.
Okay, I mean, you guys were freaking magnificent. You know, you, Dave, Lon, Lemon,
Lamont,
L. You know what I'm saying? Just really great freaking sportsmen up there on that court. You know, I can't dribble the ball and run at the same time. I might trip over my foot. You know what I'm saying? I was never any good at it. You know what I'm saying? But you guys were great. You know what I'm saying?
But, you know, sports in the time when we grew up, it was very competitive. You know, just like the way the NBA is being played nowadays, you know. We used to argue. There was guys that would tell you, I'm not giving you that ball back. You was taking 3 steps to the basket. And now they got the Euro step. Like, what the hell that shit mean?
The what?
The Euro step.
Well, you taking like 5 steps to the hole now.
You know, James Harden.
Well, maybe I can start playing.
Yeah, maybe you could. You're right.
I can start playing now.
From where that water bottle is, James
Harden.
Oh, you
too, right?
Yeah. James Harden.
I can start playing basketball now.
From where you at, from where that the camera at to the door. That's where James Harden. Hey, that's 3 steps for him.
Hey man, you know? I would get the basketball and I would run like I was on a football court.
Like, what the hell he doing now?
I got the ball in. I got the ball in my arm.
So, you know, this is another thing about the show, about big brothers watching you, you know. And, you know, I watched a movie called Enemy of the State, one of my...
Well, Will Smith.
Almost, you know, it was a great movie.
One of the best ones.
One of the best ones.
Gene Hackman.
And
it's crazy, that movie came all the way out 9798. You know, that's 22 years ago. And, you know, the NSA, you know what I'm saying, you're being watched. You're being watched. Your Facebook posts, Instagram posts, your computer your cameras feed, on.
The TVs now, even people that aren't aware of this, but I think the TVs and even the cable boxes have a camera that can watch you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So everybody wants all this new technology. They're not aware that the government is keeping an eye on.
That's right. Big Brother's always watching.
Big Brother's watching you. What do you think about the new transit system where you take your phone and you tap it to the thing?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? That's in competition of stopping the swipers from stealing the money.
Yeah, because there's this guy he's at the train station every morning.
And he gets paid. I know he do. Faithfully. And been doing it for like the last 8, 9, 10 years.
But what about the people that don't work 40 hours and they got 20 hours and they got to take their card and swipe it because that's the only way they can get access to getting on the train? And they don't have a 40-hour schedule due to this pandemic that allows them to go half rate, like just to charge up and not getting a full-time worker pay. And being able to travel. But the system is different now. But I'm just saying for the half working people,
right?
For 20 hours.
But this is not 1990 something or 1980 something where the minimum wage is $4.50. The minimum wage is $15. So you have a livable wage. Shout out to the people in McDonald's that did this protest a couple of years ago. Right. They got the state of New York and the legislation to pass for a person to get 15.
Makes a lot of sense.
Because I'm gonna tell you, I remember just the other day, my child said, "Dad, you always talking about Joe Biden, about him with his crime law. Maybe if people didn't do the crime, they wouldn't do the time." I said, "You know what, son? That is absolutely a good answer. But what do you do when you got a family to feed and the minimum wage is $4.50? And I'm talking about the time when Biggie and Wu-Tang is coming with their song. The minimum wage was $5. $4.75 in 95. 94.
Brothers was security guards.
With security guards getting $5 an hour? Yes, give me a pack. I'm bumping it. Yeah. I'm busting my chops for $175 a week, and you doing what you doing. You just a lookout. You're not even in the picture, and you got $3,000 in your pocket. So it's like capitalism during the 90s and the 80s. That shit wasn't right. It forced people to go out there to sell drugs, and then you get caught up in policy.
Yep.
So, you know.
So what's our solution to, you know, just when it comes down to the outcome of this madness of politics, what is the outcome for us as far as black people to stand up in all those things?
We've been the only way out of this situation is being unified like the Chinese, unified like the Jews. They buy from each other. We don't
support each other.
We always kicking the money out. Like, how does somebody from Yemen in the hood? I want to touch this right quick, and I don't care, and I'm saying it. Call me a snitch or a rat. I don't care. How is it that these dudes from the Middle East is in the hood right now selling chronic in the hood? How is that? Bad enough you slinging fried chicken that my grandmother invented now you slinging weed
And that chicken
in the
does
hood,
taste good too.
and that chicken does taste good. Y'all fried up real good, but now y'all selling weed.
Hey, got to give the people what they want.
The Jefferson said the fish don't fry on the grill.
Yeah, I understand all that, son, but that shit is just crazy. That we still not unified. That we don't have a storefront.
Look,
I mean, I'm too old in the game to participate in those things right there. But I just find it amazing that y'all in the hood slinging weed.
I was just earlier today with some Arab people who I had to make a stop to.
CB?
You know what I'm saying? What do you want?
That's it.
Yeah, I had to make a stop too. So when I got there, they invited me in for lunch. So you know, they sit on the floor to eat. They had a freaking feast for lunch,
Right.
daily. And they invited me in to sit down with them on the floor, but I declined because if I get on that floor, I'm not likely to get the hell back up.
Right.
So, you know, I just stood there and they gave me all this food, and I sat there and I ate with them. And, like, they just pull out of their pockets thousands of dollars. Just even the kids, it seemed like. Yeah, they've got it like that. Because they're not into the things that our people are into, the ignorant stuff that our people are into. By making sure that you have every pair of damn Jordans, buying, they've got on no name brand clothing. You know what I'm saying? No, but we have to have name brand. You're poor, but you got to make sure that you look like $1 million damn bucks. You know what I'm saying? Why? Why? Because you don't want to get teased. You don't want to get made fun of. But that person that's teasing you and making fun of you, they're not rich either.
Yeah.
You understand? So we have to come out of that. You know what I'm saying? This is the 21st century. We're 20 years into the 21st century. We have to come out of that type of thing, man. That type of thinking on a whole. You know what I'm saying? Altogether.
Yep.
It's ridiculous. We can't save money because we're busy trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I'm saying?
So how do we teach and build and inspire?
Well, I'll tell you what, people. This is what you do. You tune in every week to the Black Power Hour. How about that? That's what you do, because that's what we're going to teach us how to stop being ignorant. Okay? That's what this show is for. All right?
Stop being ignorant.
Exactly.
And stop Malcolm X from rolling over in his grave.
That's right.
And the fact of the matter is, you know, we got to give love and thanks to everyone that's still here. And the fact of the matter is the after fact of the aftermath. You know, not knowing the decision and where it's going and what it's going to be. You know, we still need to understand that we can't do nothing until we know what is going to be within these next few days.
Right.
Or next week or next 2 weeks or maybe month, depending
feel like,
on this, man.
I feel like something's going to happen. Something that we're not going to like within these next couple of days. It's the time frame for some bull crap to go down. You know, because they have to, you know, count up and tally up the rest of the mail-in votes and stuff like that. It just feels like, you know, when did this ever happen before? You know,
It happened when with George Bush and Al Gore.
Tell me when that was, George
2000.
Bush. Okay. When that Bush got into office? Okay. Mail-in votes?
No, because the coronavirus didn't happen. It's just that Jeb Bush kind of stopped blacks.
Something from in Florida.
In Florida.
Right. Yeah, I remember that. I remember that. He did something.
He stopped the blacks from going to vote.
Okay, yeah. Right.
And I was explaining to somebody that they said that George took an ass whooping for Jeb because they said Barbara Bush used to whoop ass.
Okay.
I mean, they said that Barbara Bush used to hand out some ass whoopings to her kids.
She
She
looks like an executioner.
Yeah, and they said that George took an ass whooping for Jeb. So you don't know, I'm my brother's keeper. I'm going to stop you Negroes from going to vote, and that's what happened.
Right.
That's my brother. Democracy don't got nothing to do. That's my brother.
My brother's running for the presidency.
My brother
of the
is running for the
United States.
president, but
And
it's just crazy. 9/11 happens right
Saturday on Saturday Night Live. this Saturday that just passed, they did a skit where there was these black people. They were dressed like they were from the 70s, and they was going out to go vote.
Right.
And every one of the places that they had to vote at,
right.
Oh, we're closed as soon as they got there.
Wow, Saturday Live.
You know, everywhere, every single one. You know, so it was crazy.
Saturday Night Live is too much, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we go, I watched The Exorcist for the first time.
You did what?
I watched The Exorcist. Wait.
You know what? Because I wanted to talk about Halloween.
Let me finish.
Hold on. I want to talk about Halloween and Halloween movies, scary movies. So you've gone right into it. Thank you.
I watched The Exorcist for the first time by myself.
Oh.
And I laughed at it. Because I'm working from home and it came on I think AMC.
In broad daylight.
I'm laughing. And the kid's like, wow, Daddy, you finally watched The Exorcist. And I said, I'm not watching this shit at night.
Why not?
Because that, for some reason, I'm okay with the hacker movie. I'm okay with Jason stabbing people. Right. I have no problem with that shit. That shit there? Nah, not at night. I'm not watching it.
Oh, please.
I'm not watching it.
Well, you know what? That movie...
Jason was a bad mother effer. You know, Freddy was a bad mother effer. Exorcist was just another form. Nothing was scarier than Carrie. You know?
Carrie was scary. Carrie was a scary one, too.
At the end, when the mother burned in that house, and excuse me for talking all this crazy horror, but Carrie grabbed her hand at the gravesite.
Yes, she did. I remember we watched that as kids, and we
scary movie.
We were scared as shit.
They said they all gonna laugh at you.
She got hit with that bucket of pig blood.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend was John Travolta, the guy that did a great job in Pulp Fiction, who was doing that dance in his socks and the Toolie Two or whatever. They won first place.
Don't disrespect John Travolta.
You can't do that.
Don't disrespect
He's
John Travolta.
He's from Brooklyn.
Listen, I'm not saying that. You know John Travolta is a badass dancer. Don't take it no way. I never said anything bad. I said, you know John Travolta. I call our close friend, you know who, the black John Travolta. You understand? Like, listen, he's one of the top dancers in the game of acting. Yeah. You know, he's been in it
that white
from
guy
day one.
Who are you talking about?
John Travolta.
John Travolta.
Well, he said our friend.
No, listen.
Black guy.
No,
Reggie?
Potion.
Potion, okay.
Oh, Potion. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the black John Travolta of Brownsville, you know.
Yeah.
Do. You know, that song.
He's gonna get down to whatever song is his favorite.
But
he's gonna
you know, John Travolta, he's a hell of a dancer, man. You know, it's never disrespect. I can't move like him, and I'm 48 years old. I can't move like John Travolta.
And it's too late to do so.
Too damn late.
You ain't been moving that damn way.
Listen, who would the girls pay more attention to? The guy with the wallet, or, you know, who's Hollywood, or just the old nigga, you know, the old brother at 48? Like, come on. Let's get real.
Doing the worm.
Yeah, or some.
What a wop.
Doing the Cabbage Patch.
The wop, the Cabbage Patch, and all that other shit that we grew up on.
But you never know. You know, sometimes these women see a good quality in a brother.
Yeah. Well, listen, you mixing it up like a DJ. You know, that's all you doing, because ain't no reality to that shit.
What are you talking about? I lived that whole shit my whole life. What are you talking about?
You know, even the two-steppers, you know, some guys look good in the two-step. You know, they just do their dance, and the women say, "Oh, he can dance." And
hey, there you go.
Oh, you know what I want to say before we wrap this up? How many more minutes we got, my man? 11 more minutes.
We have plenty of time.
Fargo.
Boy,
there's a show called Fargo, and Chris Rock is playing the gangster. And whoever are the writers, white, black, green, or purple, they drop bombs. And the show is taking place during the 1950s. And during the 1950s, this is when the Nation of Islam is making its run. And there was a part where Chris Rock said, I'm doing this to fight against mindset. Mindset. And it's like, yo, that's some deep shit.
The mindset.
The mindset of the Negro. Falling back against white folk.
The thought process, the mindset.
That's what is needed right now. The mindset of the Negro needs to be changed. You know what I'm saying? Because right now it's not in the right place.
It's still not. And what me and Math was talking about, a little earlier was this remote learning. You like I rides my kid's ass. Dad, why are you screaming? No, pay effing attention to what's going on. Pay attention. Get out of the game. Pay attention. I know that polynumerals ain't, might not work for you in real life, as they say, but if you want to be some form of an engineer, polynumerals is going to take its course.
What do you mean, binomials?
That what that shit is. That what you just said. That's what it is. Polybinomial.
And even with the thought of a dad telling his kids something of knowledge and understanding, to prepare them for the future of that, that's great. You know what I'm saying? Because in society, it's not like that. And it's tough in a lot of ways, in many ways, Like, listen, we don't have to blame this one or that one. We need to love us through the kids, whether if you don't love each other or whatever the case is. You know what I'm saying? That's all. Because, look, the kids are the future. As the song said,
I believe the children are the future.
And not the Eddie Murphy way from Saturday Night Live, the real version.
Teach them well and let them
nobody's singing better than Buckwheat.
Yeah.
So
what's also hard with this problem, like a lot of movies ain't coming out, and Coming to America was on his way out.
Yeah, well, a lot of stuff is getting released to Netflix now, man.
Oh, do you know what I just watched? The Spell.
They did another one?
The Spell with
the witches?
With Ghost. Ghost from Power is in this new horror movie.
Hardwick or something like that.
Yeah, pretty good. It's pretty good. Could have been more slaughter.
Oh,
but pretty
right. Good. It's Omari Hardwick, right?
Yes, with my girl from Dreamgirls. What's her good name? The heavyset chick.
She's been in many movies.
No.
Not Jennifer. Is it Jennifer?
No, not
You're talking about the older lady. The heavyset lady.
Davis.
Viola.
Not Viola Davis. Not the black chick. She was the chick. She was in Dreamgirls.
Yeah.
Beyonce.
No, I ain't with no damn Beyonce. Not that Dreamgirls. I'm talking about Dreamgirls from the 1970s coming into the 80s.
Irene Cara.
Yeah. Let me see.
The heavyset one, Math.
Nell Carter.
Not Nell Carter. I was thinking of her too, but
she's
not
dead.
Nell. But what's the name? Something Davis. I can't think of her name.
Give me a break.
Give me a break. That was a good. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. Nell Carter was a real singer.
She was a real singer.
She was a real singer.
Ain't no
real
misbehaving.
That's what she was in.
She was in. Yeah.
She had a fatty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, she was considered.
And her 4'10" frame.
The sexiest fat woman.
Yeah.
Of the 80s.
Yes. Yes, okay. Indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
She was. Psycho D had the calendar.
Had the Nell Carter calendar.
I have the calendar on a lot of them.
Yeah.
Not some women would say that's weird to have a calendar. So no, it's in thought, not in reality.
It just was in thought. This is January.
I don't have them posted up on the wall. I have them in thought. That's the safest way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
well,
but in reality, we just all got to take it one day at a time also and love each other and understand and keep peace, respect, and understanding going very long, because without that, the formula of algebra and trigonometry and all that, it's always a formula to math. Peace, respect, and understanding is part of the math, and that's how you got to look at it, And until we understand that as a people, that dictates how far you're going to go. Right. Respect, love, and understanding. That goes a very long way. So
always.
Yeah.
Okay. Being that it is National Hip Hop Month, there was something that I wanted to talk about right quick. Let's start with you.
What?
Who was your top? Give me your top 5 producers of music producers, hip hop producers of the 90s.
Of the 90s. Eric Sermon. Dr. Dre,
Dre,
the RZA, DJ Premier.
One more.
I'm gonna go with Sir Jinx.
Sir Jinx, good choice. Good choice.
And also Marley Marl. I ain't forget you, baby.
Well, you know, he was the 80s, though. You know, I mean, he's still doing it now.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
80s, 90s, though.
Right. Because he was still doing work in the 90s.
Yeah.
You know, he was doing a lot of radio show at the time. Him and Pete Rock was together on Future Flavors.
But you know what, Marley Marl, I mean, you want to say 90s, being that L. Cool J's Mama Said Knock You Out came out in 1990, so.
Okay, but it rocks. It rocks. It rocks. Psycho
Because he did that Mama Said Knock You Out album. Marley Marl did most of that
he did that
album.
And it was dope.
I would say those same names, but Marley Marl. You know, you said Marley Marl wasn't in that time, but wasn't
I'm not saying he wasn't in it. He was before it.
Was it Puff Daddy in the 90s?
Take that. You got to go with Puff.
Yeah.
Take that.
Who else you got?
And everybody he said, because, you know.
The Hitman, that was with Bad Boy.
To me, I think like this, too. And
Havoc, they ain't forget about you.
You can call
The Alchemist.
You can call so many names, and it's no disrespect to the next name. You know, like list and your list and my list and fam list right there is like everybody has from 1 to 10 a different selection.
Yeah.
So I can't disrespect or knock who you say and who you say.
It's just opinion.
All of us, it's all opinion.
It's just your
but
opinion.
The effect of what a lot of those names had is still important to us. It may not fall in alphabetical order. You're never going to get it right in music because so many MCs put down some great songs, some great lessons, some great history, some great moments, you know?
I don't know if I could pull 5, but I know definitely the RZA's on there.
Yeah, see?
Big shout out to the RZA.
That's your list.
Wu-Tang Clan.
That's your list.
All right. Pete Rock.
There you go.
DJ Premier.
Premier.
Okay. Big shout out, rest in peace to Guru of Gangstar. Big shout out to J. Rue the Damager.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's deep.
Shoot. I don't know, man. You know what I'm saying? I want to say this guy, but he's not exactly hip hop.
Who?
Timbaland.
Yeah, he's hip hop.
You think so?
Yeah, he's hip hop,
Okay.
but a great producer. Period.
Yeah, he the 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He started
When he
in the
came
90s.
out with Aaliyah's One in a Million album, that was crazy and genuine.
Right, but these are not hip hop acts.
I know, but you know.
But he was a great producer of the 90s.
Yes,
Timbaland.
Yeah. Well, you know what? He did Big Pimpin'. Missy Elliott.
Missy.
She's another
Missy.
one. Believe it or not. Great songwriter,
Is
great
her
producer
music
too.
considered
Super
hip hop?
duper
Yeah.
fly.
I would consider it R&B.
Because they group it in there together according to the Billboard hip hop R&B charts.
Hip hop and R&B.
Who?
He produced for Jay-Z.
Who?
Yeah, Timbaland. Big Pimpin'.
Big Pimpin'.
Is Timbaland.
He produced a number of things, truthfully,
for Jay-Z. Yes.
Jay-Z, a number of
Yes.
I didn't like Big
Timbaland got a lot of
You didn't like
shit,
that song,
man.
Big Pimpin'?
Nah, listen.
With UGK?
I didn't like that.
Listen, if you ever watch Fade to Black with the Jay-Z movie and you see Timbaland bopping his head, he was making those beats. But Timbaland made a lot of beats.
Yes, he did.
And listen, man.
And Jodeci, y'all owe him a
made
check.
a lot of beats. That guy, you got to respect his rhythm. You know, he has a
And he's the
certain
father.
type
And he's
of
the
energy.
father of how the way this music sound. Truthfully,
Who?
he's
Timbaland.
Timbaland.
Yeah,
he's
yes,
the
he is.
father of this sound.
He is. Yeah. With all the sound effects. And
Get that dirt off my shoulder. You
Yeah.
gotta get that dirt off. Do-do-do-do-do. You know, Timberland was just bouncing up in there like crazy.
Go
Well,
ahead,
you
B,
know
wrap it
what,
up.
folks? You know, we have to get ready to wrap this show up. You know what I'm saying? And next week we'll be back with a brand new episode. Anything that you guys want to say right quick before we leave out of here?
Go ahead, D. Say something.
I just want to say real quick in closing, I love you and peace to America, and hopefully we get everything right in the right direction and keeping unity as a country, which that's all I got to say.
I just want to say I don't know if they're going to still allow that. What you say in Mississippi? Because the Aryan Brotherhood and the good old boys, as my man Trump would have to say, stand by. What do you say? Stand by and stand back, and stand by.
Yeah.
In closing, I guess Biden is going to win, but do not be surprised, people, that Trump, a.k.a. Reggie Miller, might just make a comeback.
Hey, you never know. Also, just right quick, I'd like to say rest in peace to 007 James Bond.
Yeah,
Sean Connery.
Rest in peace.
The original. Okay, my name is Bond. James Bond.
Peace out, people.
Peace, everybody. Next week, tune in.